Hello everyone, just wanted to let you know in advance everything that I am using will be linked in the description box below. Alright, and let's dive in. So for this September theme, I wanted it to be really classy, kind of minimal, and I went with London. So I wanted to really focus on, I guess, just a broad overview of everything that is staple to like what you think if you thought London. So you can see here that I'm drawing the Ferris wheel and the Big Ben, as well as the London Bridge. I am using a ruler for this just because I wanted this to look very clean, and all of the lines here are kind of exposed. I did go in with on the September lettering in this very fine cursive. I didn't go in with any kind of calligraphy because I didn't want it to feel cluttered or overwhelmed at all. So the inspiration for this September theme actually came from the Lego architecture sets. So these Lego architecture sets have all of the staples of the city. For example, in San Francisco, they would showcase the London Bridge, showcase the Golden Gate Bridge, and in Paris they would of course do the Eiffel Tower, the Notre Dame, and all of the most famous parts. So you can see here in September I did the same thing and kind of vertically listed all of the most famous parts in a drawing. I also just wanted to note that when you are drawing your buildings, they do not have to be 100% perfect. I did mess up on a couple of the windows on the Ferris wheel a little bit, but you can see that it already looks very, very detailed even if you mess up, and you can't really tell in the end. So moving on here, I decided to draw one of the London double-decker buses. This totally reminded me of the night bus in Harry Potter, which, sneak peek, I'm probably going to do the October theme inspired by Harry Potter, so stay tuned for that. And I also threw in the quote, "Life begins at the end of your comfort zone." Moving on to the next page, this is my September monthly calendar. For this monthly calendar, I went in with these lines. Basically what these lines do is I'll write down things that I need to do once a week. So for each week, for example, I would be doing laundry once a week, and that's one of the things that I wrote down. So I'll just write down the date that it is, and this was inspired by the channel Study Quill. I saw this in one of her bullet journal videos, and I thought it was just so helpful and so useful that I ended up using it in my monthly spreads. So I went in and I added this really cute tea doodle because, you know, London and tea. And I also added in the quote, "Don't worry," because a lot of the times I find myself worrying when really what I need to do is calm down, figure out what the situation is, and get it done. Really, in the end, worrying doesn't do us any good, and it just makes us panicked. I also went in to make sure all of my lines were straight with a ruler, but I then stopped because I felt like my pen was rubbing against the sides and it wasn't doing my pen any good, and it was causing some strange splotching, which you will see happening a lot in my habit tracker and next spreads in general, so I apologize for that. In the future, I would definitely switch pens if I were using a ruler a lot or just using it heavily. I also wanted to just talk right now about a couple of tips if you are new to bullet journaling that I have found quite helpful. So the first tip is just to have a ruler, because as you can see here, when I did use a ruler, the lines came out so much straighter. Unless you can draw straight lines without a pencil, I find that rulers are so helpful. The second tip that I would do is I would find or just wait until the lines are dry. I find that this makes your spreads so much cleaner, because as you can see in my next spreads coming up, I ran my left hand over my drawings, and it left this great big smudge. This might also just be because I'm left-handed, but I feel like it could happen either way, so just be careful. My third thing is to always go through with a pencil before you decide to draw, because I find that the pencil just kind of gives you that base, and you can always erase with a pencil, so always go through that before you go in with a pen, and you will have very clean, very neat spreads. Also, let me know in the comments down below if you would want to see a full video where I just talk about tips for new bullet journal beginners. Alright, so you can see here that I'm numbering the spreads now. I did debate going through with and putting a circle around all of the numbers, because I felt like it would look a lot like tea bags going with the tea theme up there, and I also added in a quick quote. Moving on to the next page, I started drawing with a telephone box. I don't know what I'm saying, and it honestly turned out so well. And this is one of those moments where I was so happy that I went in with a pencil beforehand, because if I had just gone in with a pen and a ruler, all of those minute little lines in between would not have gone over well, especially just because I am kind of not that careful most of the time when it comes to super straight lines. This is also not only a doodle, but it is doubling as my habit tracker. So the glass windows are actually going to be for the 31 days in the month of September, and every single day I'm going to be coloring in one of those. I actually did not decide on any colors to color those in with, mainly just because I'm not sure what I'm going to be coloring those in with, because I do want them to kind of have this glass-like feel at the same time. Alright, and this is about where I'm talking about where I ran my hand through and it caused this great big smudge. What I did for this was I went in with a white jelly roll pen. Of course, it's not perfect. I do not have whiteout, so if I had that option, I would probably use that. But if you don't have it, go ahead and go in with that white jelly roll pen, and it will just make you so happy when you see those clean lines. Well, for me anyway, because I'm a perfectionist like that. I'm now drawing in my habit tracker. I would say for this, definitely also use a ruler, but for this I didn't use it, and you can kind of see the results of me not using a ruler. It was a lot less clean. Overall, I am still very satisfied with this page. I just wish I had paid more careful attention or gone in with a different pen. If you guys want, I will link my half-year bullet journal academic setup down below, where you can see I kind of did the same thing. I never learn. Okay. And moving on to my week at a glance spread. I messed up over here. I connected the whole entire line down, and I did go in with that jelly roll, so that's like the perfect example of when to use it. And basically this spread is used for if I want a quick to-do list, and it's just there for what I'm going to do every single day of the week. I did also have a second spread, which is coming up soon. That second spread goes in with a lot more detail, and it time blocks every single hour. So if you are a perfectionist like me, or just want to be super organized, then that spread is more for you than this overall general spread. I like having both. It's honestly just your opinion, what kind of planner personality you are, but I really like having both as an option. I then went in with the same cursive lettering I have been using for this whole entire month spread and wrote down each day of the week. I left one spot empty. You can leave it totally empty for notes, but I actually went in and I doodled the Buckingham Palace in there because why not? And also I did spend time sketching that out, and I just felt like if I didn't use pen and draw that, then it would have been a complete waste of time totally sketching that out. So I did go in with that, but it is your option. If you want to leave in your notes space, that's fine as well. Okay, so we have come to the part that I was talking about earlier. This is the time block daily spread page. So right now I am sketching out just every single day. And how this works, if you don't know, it's kind of like a Google Calendar where you can time block your whole entire day. So I actually started from 6 a.m. because I probably won't be waking up any earlier than that. And I ended around 10. So you guys can change up the time if you want to. That's just the time that works for me. What I'm going to end up doing is filling in what I'm doing for each time. So for example, if I have a class from 7 to 9, I would put in a block saying I have this class from 7 o'clock to 9 o'clock, and that's just how you would fill it in. And of course, I like to go over this in pencil just to make sure that everything is still movable and nothing is set in stone. So we have reached the part with the 3 lines. So how these things work is these 3 lines at the top will tell me what my top 3 most important things of the day are. So for example, if my top 3 most important things of the day are violin, piano, and homework, then that's what I will be putting in those top 3 daily tasks, if that makes any sense. Or if you've heard of the Eisenhower matrix, which I actually will be making a video on soon. Alright, time for the final flip through. Basically, this is my September spread. I hope you enjoyed it. It's minimal, it's clean, it's not too hard to doodle, and yeah, that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this kind of content, make sure to subscribe, like, and comment down below. Thank you guys so much for sticking to the end, and I'll see you in the next video.